Not yet.
A lot of people. Not good, Bob. Edition. And I get it. There are some of you that want Jair Alexander on the roster. Me too. Okay? Again, I keep telling you this. Me too. I want him back. I like talking to him when he talks. I don't think the fact that they only took one corner and he was in the 7th round has anything to do with Jair's future with some other team. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, there it is, Facebook, and of course always on YouTube, and of course everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable, your state, your teams, your ESPN, the great ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay, where the draft, the traveling carnival has left town. They're taking down the stage as we speak. Jesse Nelson, who, did I see him in the background of some social media influencer talking about the draft?
Apparently.
You've got quite the influence.
I'm everywhere.
Is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios and from his undisclosed location. He's the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. It seems as if everything in Green Bay went better than expected. They handed off. I saw Leroy Butler and Mark Murphy handed off the football and basically told Pittsburgh, good luck, a la Liam Neeson, and here we go. So I don't think anybody could have anticipated the draft going as well, especially Rob Domofsky, who kind of got my mind working 2 years ago, and maybe I need to be a little concerned now. Green Bay showed up, as you put it. Great event, 600,000 blanking people. What a showcase, and so I think from that perspective, it could not have been any better. And then when you start looking at what Green Bay did in the draft, again, as I said on Friday, if you're not going to be optimistic now, you're never going to be. Now, Jason could come in next week after watching the rookie minicamp and say, I don't know, Williams is pretty spindly, and Belton doesn't move very good, and Brinson, so let's at least just enjoy this week, and then we'll start getting an idea. But I think all in all, from a Packer fan standpoint, it was better than you could have expected on all fronts for now.
So 600,000, the official.
How many of those are repeat?
Okay, so if Mark Tauscher gets his NFL One Pass app and he goes on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, he is 3 people.
Okay, that's still fine.
So
okay.
It's like going to a Brewers game, and you go to all 3 games in the series, and then they give you the total attendance for the Cubs coming to town. You would be counted 3 times.
It was at least 600,001 because they never scanned my thing when I went in on Thursday.
Okay, so they shorted it.
Appreciate you correcting the
officially
record.
On the record.
Dynamite
there,
drop,
it is at
Jesse.
least 600,001.
All right, I'm glad you bring this up, though, because Goody and I, not always on the same page, on the same page on a lot of things this draft, but one of the things that he and I are on the same page with are the only experience he had outside of the draft room, or for me, outside the media room, of the draft and the activities within the walls, the fences.
Driving in.
Was driving in and then looking out the window or looking on TV. Now, I at least had the Tundra Trio, where we saw thousands upon thousands of people go by, some of whom stopping to listen to Tucker Kraft questionably judge a grilling competition with Pit Boss that I think maybe the winner who was declared was not so sure about that. There was a fire.
No, my presentation. Whoa. My presentation much better than Blues.
Dude, we almost had to call the Ashwaubenon Fire Department, though.
Yeah.
A little too much
A limited amount of time that we could do. Listen, man, with Pit Boss, you want to sit and let things smoke for a couple hours. That's what you're wanting to do, but I'm going to promise you this. That's not what people that wanted to get into the draft to do this. I didn't have 3 hours.
So wait, you
smoke.
charred your brat because you're an unselfish person.
You went homecoming bonfire approach instead?
I don't know how many times I have to tell you this. It wasn't a brat, and there was no there was a char. There was a char, but I knew going in this was going to be smoked meat. We were going to cook meat. I needed to differentiate with my presentation, and as an avid Food Network fan, I know presentation matters. That's where I beat Bulaga. It was on presentation.
Okay, yes, and not only did you smoke your meat, you also smoked the entire area around the Tundra Trio. There was a haze when you were done.
Wanted to keep the bugs out.
So folks came by and stopped and saw that. We caused a major bottleneck when Matt LaFleur sat down with us for about a half hour, and we did that sit down with him, which was fantastic, and hopefully you'll get to hear some of that during the course of the week. But that was it. That was all I experienced, too. I watched people go by, had people heckle me while we were doing a little TV for Channel 3 in Madison. But other than that, I didn't get to experience it. So, Jesse, did you kick a field goal? Did you run a 40-yard dash? What were all the things that you experienced when you went in without being scanned?
Lord knows you didn't kick a field goal.
No, I did not go anywhere near kicking the field goal. We've been down that road enough.
I heard they used a softer ball, though, so you might have had a chance.
I would have liked a little redemption. It might have actually been a good idea. By the way, I'm getting a bunch of texts here on the text line. Carblo's talking text line, 844-770-3776. Apparently they didn't scan anybody. So maybe it was 600,000 after all.
Wait, what?
Apparently downloading the NFL One Pass was like enough to get you in, apparently.
Just wait a second. So if they didn't scan everybody, I'm not going to go into it. It's great. We had six. Here's the deal.
I mean, you go through like a metal detector.
600,000, that's not how they keep track of things. 600,000 people. Vinny and Eric were all upset this morning because Detroit still had more fans come through. The bottom line is it was a great outing. I don't care if it was 500,000, 600,000. It doesn't matter. That's not what this was. Green Bay came off looking like rock stars. And, by the way, I was there Friday. Friday sucked. That weather was brutal. Yeah. And you get that many people showing up without a band, without a concert or anything along with it. Hey, there's nothing that should be surprising about this. We live it. We live here. We see it. We know. That doesn't surprise us. I think we're very sensitive we want to make sure we get our love from a fan standpoint. Yeah. I think everybody that even had a doubt prior, which I don't know who you are, if you did, you don't anymore. So don't care about all the scanning and everything else. It is what it is. It was a great, great showcase for the Green Bay Packers and for the city of Green Bay.
Well, and I would hasten to add, as we talked about while we were together.
Deep here.
Do you have any others you'd like to get to?
Ashwaubenon.
Alloway.
Schwano.
Pulaski. I think Pulaski showed up. If you want.
Manitowoc.
Wait a minute.
Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark. Luxembourg.
Manitowoc.
I think Casco didn't show up like we hoped. Luxembourg did. I don't know about Casco.
Sure. You know who showed up big, much like they did when they faced you in sports? Oostburg.
Oh, don't do that. Why you always got to be like that?
Because I'm a jerk. But what I thought was great, and Jesse, confirm or deny this having been inside the fences, but it sure looked to me like people were wearing what you're wearing now, and that it was almost it wasn't exclusively Packers fans, obviously, but 80, 85, like this was a local national event. Like it was Wisconsinites predominantly, and by the way, they don't need excuses to drink Coors Lights, but when I did depart a few times, there were more than a few who'd clearly enjoyed the draft and some Coors Lights on draft.
They sure were. There was an abnormal amount of Jacksonville Jaguars jerseys, I thought, after we were pointing out on the show Thursday when we were at the Tundra Trio how we thought the Jaguars would be one of the teams we didn't see much of. I ran into a bunch of Jaguars fans when I was walking around there on Thursday. Yes, it was heavy Packers, heavy Badgers influence. I love that on Friday and even Saturday, like the UW Marching Band helping kick things off on Saturday morning was a ton of fun. It was a showcase. I saw one tweet. I forgot who it was from. I wish I could give credit. It was like the NFL and every Wisconsin festival got together and had a baby. And that's what this entire thing was, where it was like State Fair, Summerfest, all the great things of that mixed with the NFL flavor of it. And it became one giant party for Wisconsinites and for football fans everywhere to enjoy. And that's what it felt like when I was in there on Thursday. And I think that's what it felt like for everybody all weekend long.
How do we feel about the got together and had a baby analogy?
Yeah, I don't know 100%. I thought he should have went with the Jim Carrey in Bruce Almighty, where you add some nuts and you do all this, and then you get one big, great cookie, and that would have been it. But, Jesse, I love the fact you're trying your hand at analogies.
I was just, it's not mine. I saw that someone else
so
said
you're
that.
So
plagiarizing
if you don't cite it, it is yours. So success on that end, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can argue that piece of it. Now the question is, and obviously we went deep on Friday on Golden. We have not talked since. I was very intrigued when we had baseball games this weekend, but I saw that the second pick. And my mind started wondering, what does this mean? That's where I got back to the old player. Anthony Belton,
tackle.
the big fella, 6'6", 336 from NC State. And I'm starting to wonder, and I think I'm crazy to wonder this.
Wait, do you want to do Windy?
No. I'm not, because I don't know this yet.
Okay.
But what I do know, or what I believe, I still believe Zach Tom's going to get his payday and he's going to be the right tackle. I don't know if Belton, did he play left tackle at North Carolina State?
He did, exclusively.
Okay, so that's a big dude. Does that now mean, what does that mean for everybody else? I think Sheed Walker was on high alert already with Jordan Morgan. Does Jordan Morgan now go back to battling Sean Ryan? And you let Belton and Walker battle? And if Walker plays?
No.
Okay, so tell me why.
So
Explain.
they Goody basically said that Belton will not be part of the. No, he didn't basically say it. He said it. He's not part of the competition at left tackle. They're going to move forward with Morgan versus Rashid at left tackle. Which surprised me, frankly. You know what I think he's going to be? A red
Swing
shirt.
guy.
No, I think he's going to be a red shirt because I think he has some developing to do. Now, there were people that were up in arms when Goody said last Monday. And by the way, Mike, who texts in on the Carbless Talking text line, nobody can complain about the event except for locals inconvenienced by the traffic. I got to be honest, I didn't find the traffic all that inconvenient either. Like when I chauffeured Tausch from their Verbo Airbnb, whatever it was, out in Howard Swamico, I got there way earlier than I needed to pick you up. Now the fact that I left the car running for 11 hours was a whole other thing. But the fact of the matter is it was pretty smooth even on that front. So that was not an issue. Going back to Belton Elton, they got an Elton and they got a Belton now. It doesn't sound.
Hey, okay, I agree. Goody's going to say what he's going to say, and I'm intrigued.
I think they think he's a guard. I think he's a gigantic
Well, that's
guard.
what I'm saying. He is not. This isn't going to be, and why I think all of you urgency police folks, you're part of. You might be the captain of the urgency police.
I'm a lieutenant.
You're the captain. You have been pushing this, and you took that and you ran with it, and then everyone on our station at Blogosphere. I don't care. You have been the captain on it. So
I am the captain now.
If anybody had any questions about where Green Bay felt like they needed to improve, the receiving core and the offensive line were the first 3 picks. But you add in Big Banksy, you add in sliding Elton into center, and you add in potentially putting a big belt dog in at right guard, which I don't know. Zach Tom's going to get paid, and he's going to be your right tackle. It tells me I saw what the Philadelphia Eagles did. I saw what we couldn't do to Philadelphia. We need to be bigger, tougher, and stronger. And that's what these 3 guys are going to do in the middle of this group that we haven't seen. And now whether Sean Ryan wins that job, you can say you're going to redshirt the big fella. Second-round picks in today's day and age don't get redshirted very often. Now, they might not win the job. He will be given opportunities to say, ooh, if he starts road grading people and showcasing himself, they're not going to just say, we're sitting you for a full year.
No, I know.
Now, that's probably what they initially want to do. But wanting and doing, and now if something happens, you better be ready to go, because that last game, for as much as it left a mark on fans and on us, it set the tone for what Green Bay needed and how they addressed. And just because we thought that the corner and edge and all of this other stuff were the big weaknesses, that is not what Brian Gutekunst thought needed to be addressed. His urgency was, we need to be better in the middle. We need to be better up front, and we need to be better in the perimeter. And that is what this draft told me, especially Thursday and Friday.
All right, I want to get into more about the actual picks. I do think that was the one lie that was told over the weekend, is what you just said. Because Matt LaFleur was asked if the Eagles game was a turning point, an inflection point.
Wake me up before we go to a championship is what I would say.
God, I love Wham. And Matt LaFleur said not necessarily. It was.
Hey, Jason.
It clearly was.
I know we got to get to break. When we sat with him, we had a good conversation. But it was abundantly clear to both of us as we walked off the stage with him, we both thought he's drafting a wideout. And we also, and I can only speak for myself here, he's irritated about how his offense finished the season. And he knows it's not good enough. And he thinks, and if you watched, Jeff Hafley's defense was not the problem the last. Now, he did make that little comment that, well, they didn't get the stop, but it was 16-10. With that being said, he also could have said, we also could have helped by not turning it over 4 times. He thinks that this defense with Jeff Hafley is going to be really good.
He does.
And it's up to him to get this offense up to speed. And you know who agrees with him?
You.
Brian Gutekunst.
Yeah.
That's how I looked at this.
Jesse, have we gotten censorship clearance that we can play the audio of our conversation with Matt LaFleur? Has that been... Are we working on that? Are the negotiations ongoing?
Working on a yes. We're
dynamite.
I don't know how to answer this question. We've got a plan we're waiting on final clearance for. I'll share that.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much. Also, I want to know, what is it, the 28th? 30 days, half September, April, June, and November. We're running out of time. It's almost the end of the draft season, and that means the end of our commercial for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's been a fun run. We still got a couple days left. The draft, all of that buzz, that was lived up to the hype. You're not going to find any draft seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number 1 pick, because right now you can take advantage for a couple more days of that no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your home's unique decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. The deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
We will get into what happened last night at Fiserv Forum with Damian Lillard.
We don't have to. We don't have to, do we? I shut her down at halftime. I didn't even watch the second half. I knew she was up. Deuces B.
Okay, maybe we won't get into that. But what we will get into is more of the NFL draft. And here's the question that I have for Tausch, for Jesse, and for you, our fans. Who's your favorite pick? Who's your guy from this 8-player class, tied for the smallest class of Goody's 8 drafts? Who's your guy?
Yours. I know who
you
yours
do know
is.
who my guy is.
Pretty
Indeed,
easy.
you definitely do. That one was pretty obvious. Storyteller
You're such
that I
a
am.
sucker. You are a sucker.
I am. Guilty. Guilty. We'll get into what a sucker I am and who your favorite draft picks are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, a place I've loved going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved Pizza Hut back then, and I love creating new Pizza Hut memories with my family now. And right now, Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For just $13.99, you can get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. That's a lot of ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6. And follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions. Presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in sport 30-2025.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. Ridgetopexteriors.com. That's Ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors. Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Wake me up before you go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up before you go. I don't want to miss it when you hit that high. Wake me up before you go. 'Cause I'm not planning on going solo. Wake me up before you go. Take me dancing tonight.
Who is your favorite Packers pick? We'll get into that in a second. I did want to address one of the
Who do you think mine is? Who do you think my favorite pick
I don't
is?
want to guess right now. I want to talk about this briefly because I want to get back on the clock.
All right, even better.
Our guy Mel.
Tough weekend.
So we love Mel on this show. He is a friend of our program. We had an abbreviated visit with him, but luckily he talks fast. So when he was on, we got a lot of information in a condensed amount of time. But Shadur Sanders goes in the 5th round.
He broke Mel. If we're being honest, he broke Mel.
Yeah,
he did.
He did. Mel had him as the best quarterback.
And I'm not going to get into a big journalism discussion, especially with you, Big J guy. But that's why you don't just get enamored to the point where you might be blinded by some things.
Mm-hmm.
And then what you don't do is double, triple down. Listen, man, I'm going to be heading out to Vegas early next week for Badger Desert Classic and be out there. I'm not doubling down on 16s, okay? I'm not doubling on 16. And then you don't double on a 16.
That's a blackjack reference. Thanks.
That's what Mel Kiper was doing. He wasn't doubling on 10 or 11. He started to see it, and the more you look, the dealer's got a 10. The league is speaking. And you don't sit there and say, well, out of hell with it. I'm already in. I said he was the best quarterback in the draft. He should be gone after 4 or 5 picks. I'm doubling. And you're not going to win. You're going to lose. And that was Mel's weekend. And I don't know how that all shakes itself out, but it was a incredibly bad weekend for him.
This negativity's got to stop.
Worse for Shadur Sanders, who wasn't even
the
first.
No. I don't think so.
Why?
I don't think so. Shadur Sanders is getting an opportunity to go in a really good opportunity, actually, for him. There ain't anybody there that's – if he's as good as Mel thinks –
Shador's
going to be
Oregon's quarterback before they drafted him.
He's got the second best odds according to some sports books.
He's
to be
now
the
an
day one
underdog.
starter. Yeah,
Jason, he went from being one of the top picks and all this stuff, and to now he's an underdog.
He was going to be the Steelers starter fighting off Rodgers, and now he's in a chill spot.
He is going to have a chance if he's as good as Mel, even a half as good as Mel thinks he is.
Yeah, the league doesn't agree. Clearly.
50 years of bad quarterback play, and it was a hard watch for anybody that likes Mel. That's a hard watch now. That's a hard watch.
This is actually a great question. Who had a worse weekend, Shadur Sanders or Mel Kiper?
Mel Kiper wins that by that's a canyon. That's just bad.
No.
And for the record, Jesse, you sent us something last night about somebody critiquing his thing with us and how hot-headed. That couldn't be further from the truth. Mel was awesome.
Yeah,
he sent us a fun clip. That was not it.
He was being facetious.
He has plenty of other stuff he needs to look at. That was not it. He was fun with us. Yes. So I don't remember who it was that tweeted that, but that That was not it.
Yeah,
that was fun. We had fun with it. We appreciated Mel's time.
He is not a hothead. He called in after we were done with the show that day laughing because he had gone back and looked you up in his book, and he said, let's record a message for Tausch. Like, he's awesome. Like, he's fun.
That was awesome. His performance, though, over the weekend, less awesome.
Let's just call it what it was. It sucked.
Jeff Ulbrich, the former New York Jets interim head coach and now the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, he did not have a great weekend either. In case you missed this story, it was his son and one of his buddies who prank called Shedeur Sanders after finding his phone number on Jeff Ulbrich's iPad, apparently. So he issued an apology, but that was less than ideal as well. Kind of reminds me of the time when someone got a hold of Robert Tunyon's cell phone number. Josh and Heartland, some might call it a meltdown. But it reminds me of the time when Robert Tunyon had someone crank call him and tell him he was being released by the Packers. And he went to the facility with his iPad thinking he was being cut, and there were people all being friendly to him, and he was basically like, F you, why are you being so nice? You're cutting me. And then it turned out, no, you made the team. So those aren't – I don't think you should mess with people's dreams in that manner. There are April Fool's Day jokes that might be funny from time to time. This was
I think April Fool's I didn't say this on it. I told you I think April Fool's has been dumb for a while.
You have said that,
and
yes.
In today's climate, culture, and where we're at, it's even dumber. I think April Fool's needs to go the way of the white buffalo and not come back like the woolly mammoth is going to.
You're probably right about that. All right, I want to get to our favorite picks, but first we got to talk about our favorite credit union. Great to know that Tausch has joined me at UW Credit Union.
I got to get Jesse. You got to find that video. It is up. I was drafted in the 7th round 25 years ago. I just got drafted in the 1st round. It feels a lot better. From UW Credit Union. Yeah, there's a video. Jesse will pull that up. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. And, man, it felt good to be a first-round pick for a change. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They'll help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, because they drafted me first. That's first off. And was it to keep my banking local? Yep. Is it member first service? Yep. Great perks like early payday? Yep. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom will make us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member. Get your Bucky card like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Last time I checked, you went in the 7th round, so I kind of overrated you with the 6th round grade. But
they are a great partner. We love UW Credit Union. Great customer service. Everything you could ask. A little bit curious about their draft board at this point.
What do you mean?
Well, they're a first-round pick. I'm a little curious about it.
They were listening to Mel.
I don't know. You start looking at my credit score and things like that. I'm not going to get into financial stuff, but I think UW Credit Union made a pretty good selection here. That's what I think.
UW Credit Union's Mel and you're Shedeur. A+.
It actually would be it actually wouldn't be. I would be Cam Ward in this instance, but take that for what it's worth.
But you love Green Bay. And Cam Ward definitely did not love his time in Green Bay. That was
good
obvious.
Riddance.
We will get to your
Deuces B
or C.
I'm glad they only talked about Shedeur.
Yeah, I don't know if there's ever going to be a first-round pick that gets less attention than Cam Ward. And I'm sure he's happy with it.
No, I don't think he is. Who is your favorite pick from the Packers draft class? 844-770-3776 is the Carbless talk and text line. But wait, there's more. Tausch has got something.
I'm going to tease it out because I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear what our fans have to say. There was 8 picks. I think my favorite is not only my favorite for a lot of reasons, but he's also going to be the most impactful rookie. And it's not Matthew Golden. I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
I haven't been super impressed with the guys behind Edwards so far.
Tune in for the top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
I do think that this season does kind of come down to Billy Edwards or bust. This really is Billy Edwards' room before we get to the fall.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
Get ready for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon Golf Outing on Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club in Beaver Dam. Registration's at 11 a.m. while 12 p.m. marks the shotgun start. It's only $350 for a foursome with 2 carts and a lunch for 4. The registration deadline is May 16th. A form and more details are available at dailydodge.com. All funds raised through the day will benefit the 2025 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
The Milwaukee Bucks, the Indiana Pacers, Game 5.
Green fires one up from way downtown, and he rattles it through.
Tuesday on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Great to see Tommy from Buck and Honeys during our time together. Now let's turn it over to Tommy Teaser to deliver on his favorite draft pick tease, which was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Thanks.
I liked it.
All right. So
the floor is yours.
Obviously, the first-round pick is always going to get all of the oxygen, and at this point, where Green Bay's at, Matthew Golden is going to get a ton of opportunities to be the guy, and he should. Jason mentioned with Belton, it's going to be more of a redshirt year, according to Goody. We'll see if that is indeed the case. I know who his guy is. I'm not going to take any shine there. But I just think Matt LaFleur wants to be creative. He doesn't want to be, let's hand off to Josh Jacobs, let's just deuce block, and let's do this. That's all cute and fun. That's meat and potato stuff. Matt LaFleur likes to tinker, and he likes having jet sweeps, and he likes getting the ball in bubble screen. He likes finding ways to get playmakers of the football. And I heard this comp for my guy, who I think is going to be the most impactful Packer in the 2025 season, especially early. And I want to make sure I'm saying his name correctly. Savion Williams, wide receiver from TCU. The comp is Deebo Samuel. We see what Deebo Samuel, especially a young, healthy Deebo, did for San Francisco. He ran all over Green Bay for years. This kid had 6 rushing touchdowns last year. They're going to find ways to get him the ball. The jet sweep and having that at your arsenal, it puts strain on a defense. Matt LaFleur loves it. He wants to do more of it. He will have packages for this kid. And I think the 87th pick in this year's draft is going to be the most impactful rookie on the Packers this upcoming season, especially for this offense, and especially early in the season where you have a definitive role for him. You let it grow. I think Matthew Golden needs to be when the season's all said and done, but I think Savion Williams has a chance to really identify a role, go at it, and be a hugely impactful rookie in this upcoming campaign. That is my teaser of the year.
That's a teaser of the year. I didn't think it was that good.
No.
It's a great take,
No
though.
way.
I do like the take.
What do you mean, no way?
Not your best tease.
What's
this
been a
month?
better tease? I just paid off a tease immediately after. How often does that happen on this show?
And paid it off. Yeah, I will say this. The payoff was really good, and I think you made an outstanding argument for your position.
Thank you. That's why it's the teaser of the year. It's only April. Where have I had a better tease that I paid off immediately?
Well,
I
again,
can't remember.
I don't know
one.
how you're grading your teases, because I would say that the tease itself was above mid. It wasn't your greatest tease. But if we are grading based on both the quality of the tease and then the payoff, then I think we can have a conversation about
and
it being your best.
the timeliness of the payoff.
Yes, it did
Timeliness
not happen
is
3 segments later.
That obviously was a big component to it. But I just, when I heard those comps, I'm not going to sit here. I know, was there another TCU kid, Besh, that I know Mel had
Jack
said?
Besh.
That Green Bay would fit. No, Jordy Nelson comp.
Wrong
That's
about
all
that
great.
too. Yeah, he went to the Raiders.
But it's always about finding roles for rookies, especially in a crowded receiver room where there's going to be, the competition is going to be off the charts. You thought that room was fascinating last year? It's going to be fascinating on fascinating this year. You have a skill set that they identified and felt like Goody did not want to take a receiver in the 3rd round. I don't think that was not on his to-do list. I think when he put that name in on Thursday night and Mark Murphy had his moment, I think Goody was like, all right, now let's get to work. This kid falls to him. Matt LaFleur, I'm sure, had a big say in this one. We give him a lot of grief because he doesn't have any, he's doing Q&As with us 10 minutes before the draft starts. And he's probably not. It was 4 hours, but you get my drift. How involved could you possibly be? Well, this pick tells me he was super involved. because I believe he's going to have some fun little wrinkles that he's going to add, and Savion Williams is going to be a big piece to that.
All right, so I do think you're right about that. Goody said his opening line basically on Friday night was, I didn't think I was going to be up here talking about 2 wide receivers. So that was clearly not his plan. Now, he also said that when they took Belton at 54, Savion Williams was a consideration there. So when he was there,
really?
Yes. So when he was there 36 picks later, you're like, oh, well, we're going to take him now, and that's how they end up taking him. Now, I do also want to get into, because I just wrapped up a story that I'm posting on Channel 3000. I know that there are some folks that thought that the fact that they didn't take a corner until the 7th round was an indicator that Jair is staying. Again, I don't think that's the case. I understand that you want him back. I do too. Not going to happen, I don't think. But
you really want it back?
I do. I really like talking to him.
From a selfish standpoint?
From a purely selfish standpoint, yeah. I'm one of
that's fair.
a few guys he talks to.
You know who I think is probably happy about this? Obviously, the Valentine balance. I think that component. But I think Kalen King is probably somebody looking at there's opportunities.
No doubt.
Listen, man, just because somebody gets drafted doesn't mean your job is or isn't on the line. But guys in those rooms know. All right, and there might be just a little bit more of there might be more belief from this front office than maybe I thought.
Right.
I had. Now, I don't know if
Carrington Valentine, too, right? We saw Carrington Valentine at the Tundra Trio. He did a Q&A with Alex Strofe. And look, I have been telling you for quite a while that they really like him. The guy started 19 games the last 2 years, and he's not in the Mark Tauscher, Adam Timmerman, Donald Driver pantheon of great Packers 7th-round picks. Scott Wells probably deserves to be in there too, right?
He should,
But he's trending that direction, and I think they really believe in him. So where many people may have thought it was a need, and I don't disagree that corner was a need, maybe not as big of a need as you might think. And the way the board fell, look, there were only 2 first-round corners. Will Johnson from Michigan lasted until 47 because of his knees.
Bad wheel.
So I think if you wanted a corner, if that's the position, then you're probably a little bit disappointed that Micah Robinson in the 7th round in their second-to-last pick was the only corner they got. But to Tausch's point, I do think Kalen King, who spent the entire year on the practice squad, is someone they have plans for. And I definitely think they really like Carrington Valentine. They obviously signed Nate Hobbs, and they still believe in Keyshawn Nixon. I know there are some doubters, but I think they are believers in him. Rob in Michigan chimes in on the Carbless Talk and text line. Does Goody only drafting 8 players show that they like their core group and that they feel they are just a few players away from being where they want to be? I wouldn't make that entirely the leap, Rob, because he was trying like hell to get more picks. So it did not work out.
Jason, hold up a second. He had that opportunity to trade his first-round pick and get those picks. He didn't. So I think Rob's question, we're going to disagree on this. The answer is yes, because don't tell me what you say. Let me see what you do. You can want to do certain things, Jason. The same thing. You don't think he could have traded the 87th pick, but he thought there's great value in Savion Williams. So you can say, I want to grab picks, I want to do all this. His actions say that he believes that they were only a few players away from where they want to be.
I think he wanted to trade the 2nd-round pick. I do, because I think Belton could have been gotten later. I think he wanted to accumulate more picks there, and he didn't have
then why didn't he
anything
do it?
That appealed to him. Because the trades were crappy. The offers weren't very good. He had his guys working the phones trying to
But he could have gotten more picks. It could have still been crappy. He could have gotten more picks.
Right, but not if you don't feel like you're getting value by trading back, right? And
but
so,
if you're getting more, you would obviously never do a bad trade, but if you really wanted to grab more picks and you didn't feel anybody at 54 was worth it, you would have gotten some picks that would have given you more and not been fleeced, if that's really what you wanted. So your point's valid, but Jason, we got on here and you brought up a really good point on Friday about, was there a little sliver subliminally of I want Mark Murphy to have his moment? Because you could tell Goody was biting at him that he didn't make that trade because if he wanted it. So what Rob's point just was, he feels like Matthew Golden can be that guy that puts this offense in a better spot, or he would have traded out of it. Mark Murphy be damned. If that makes sense.
Yeah, again, underrated moment of the entire weekend was Goody after the pick of Golden saying how happy he was for Mark Murphy and then saying that he actually drafted someone else and Mark just went up there and announced the wide receiver. That was legit, like not the fake Kay Adams laugh. That was legit. It was very funny.
Is there always a sliver of truth in every joke?
I don't think there's a sliver of he didn't draft Matthew Golden, but do I think that the other sliver that you just mentioned might have been in play of I really wanted to make that trade. But I couldn't do it with it. If the draft had been in Chicago, maybe I make the trade, maybe. But it wasn't. So, all right. Well, that is where they stand. We've now heard Tausch's favorite pick, Savion Williams, the Deebo Samuel, Cordero Patterson, Swiss Army knife wide receiver. He can line up in the Wildcat. He can line up in the backfield. He can line up anywhere across the line of scrimmage as a wide receiver. That is a versatile puzzle piece that they got. That is Tausch's favorite. Who's yours? 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. I will get to mine, which Tausch has teased. But before that, we'll get to Jesse's. He'll have his coming up. And before we can get to that, Tausch needs to tell us about Coors Light. Did you get a new sheet yet?
No,
boy.
I'll get it.
Hanging on.
Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing, it is crisp, and is only 102 calories. A lot of Coors Light being drunk up around the draft last weekend because they wanted to chill after seeing great draft picks. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Who's your favorite pick and why? That's the Carbless Talk and Text line. We'll get to your responses next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to save money and help save the planet by making an energy switch to Everlight Solar. Just like when general managers make big decisions to help propel a franchise forward for future success, you can make a game-changing decision for your home by making the switch to solar energy with Everlight Solar. Our family was looking to make the switch to solar for quite some time, but we weren't quite sure where to even start. That's when we met the great team over at Everlight Solar. From the very first conversation, they educated us on the benefits of solar while also helping keep the process simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. The 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay featured some significant Wisconsin Badgers influence. Several former Badgers announced draft picks for their current or former NFL teams, including College Football Hall of Famers Joe Thomas and Monte Ball. The UW Marching Band helped kick off festivities on Day 3 in Titletown, and of course, 2 Badgers were selected, both in the 7th round. Offensive lineman Jack Nelson drafted by the Falcons, and safety Hunter Wohler selected by the Colts.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
At Metro Ford of Madison, you pay what employees pay. Customers pay employee pricing on all in-stock new Ford vehicles. This month, drive away in the 2025 Ford Explorer with financing as low as 5.9% for 72 months. $16.53 cost per thousand borrowed. Or get the 2024 Ford Mach-E with financing as low as 0.9% for 72 months. $14.27 cost per thousand borrowed. Hurry! These offers end April 30th. Head to Metro Ford of Madison or visit MetroFordofMadison.com today.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I say, hey, I'll be gone today, but I'll be back from around the way. It seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you.
Before we get to our calls, Jason in Hales Corners, Eric in Green Bay. Jesse, who you got?
I mean, it's low-hanging fruit, but Matthew Golden's my favorite one. I never thought they would go wide receiver in the first round, maybe ever again, but especially this year. I just thought that for all that was said about the current wide receiver group, I didn't think that was a key position of need for a team that wants to compete for a Super Bowl this year. And so the fact that, like Tausch just said, apparently Matt LaFleur got in Goody's ear and said, like, this is a guy that's going to help elevate this offense and going to make it more explosive and has a chance to be a potential number one type wide receiver guy. Like, that really excites me. So it might not make the immediate impact this year because there's always that learning curve for wide receivers coming into the NFL in most cases. But long term, I do really like the idea of Matthew Golden coming to Green Bay and a guy that was valued higher on draft boards than what he ended up being picked at for the Packers in front of the home crowd and the whole, of course, the pick and the excitement that went into that on Thursday night. So Matthew Golden, it's low-hanging fruit, but that is my favorite pick of the draft.
You are the king of the low-hanging fruit. We'll get to your calls to kick off the 10 o'clock hour after Tausch tells us about how his prize picks weekend went.
Well, unfortunately, I had my sports opinion that the Bucs were going to struggle last night. and it paid off for Old T, which is nice. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members, billions of dollars in awarded winnings. And Giannis at 54.5, I believe, rebounds, assists, points. He's still, and playing only 34 minutes, almost did it, but I went less. I went less on Dame, and I had more on the little McConnell. Little McConnell cat. So good night for Old T on Prize Picks. The best place to get that real money sports action in more than 30 states, and simple to play, more or less, on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your money. And you're going to have the basketball's fun. You got all these fun games that are going. You got baseball. You got UFL. Download the app today and use that code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Who's your favorite draft pick and why? 844-770-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. If you're on hold, stay there. If you haven't called yet, now's the time to do it. 844-770-3776. We'll get to you next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Bucks face elimination, now trailing 3-1 in their opening round Eastern Conference playoff series with the Indiana Pacers, 129-103. The Pacers defeat the Bucks last night at Fiserv Forum. The big story of the game, Damian Lillard leaving in the first quarter with an injury. He did not return, and while it's not yet confirmed by the team, it is expected to be an Achilles injury. Just devastating for Damian Lillard, as Doc Rivers pointed out after the game last night.
It's just such a great freaking dude, like on the basketball level, but more important, like as a teammate and a father and all that stuff. So that's why I feel bad. It's just tough. I've seen injuries like deflate teams, but tonight, that one hurt.
Bucks try to stave off elimination tomorrow night in Indianapolis. Early tip time, 5 o'clock. Pregame coverage starts at 4:30 here on Madison's Home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Draft Debrief on Wilde and Tausch continues now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins with your calls, your favorite draft pick among the 8 picks that the Packers added. Before we get to that, I just saw this from The Athletic. Buffalo Bills general manager Brandon Beane called into a local radio station to defend his team's wide receiver room. I can't use this word because I think this gets us in trouble with the FCC. Complaining, I'll use instead, about wide receivers is one of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard. What would we have to say to have Goody call and scold us?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't have an answer for you.
I have a
can't
hard
help
time
you there.
picturing Goody doing that, frankly. I don't think that's really
would not
his
do that.
kind of thing. All right, let's get to your calls. 844-770-3776.
Goody wouldn't do it. I don't think LaFleur would do it. I don't think Murphy would do it.
Like,
I don't know. We don't have many, conflict people.
Like, would John Horst call? Would Matt Arnold call? Like, I know Matt Arnold calls into Vinny and the boys in the morning, but that's part of us being the flagship station.
Pat Murphy.
He was a great guest, by the way. He was really fun when we had him.
If we were just dead wrong on something Brewers and Pat Murphy was driving around listening, he could call in.
I don't think he would.
I could see LaFleur. I could see LaFleur if there was something that he had heard that really kind of got his goat. I could see him, whether it's I don't know if we're going to have the audio about his poor challenge record, and I got after him last year about his not just being too emotional and not staying in and kind of being the steadying hand. And I could see that, but Goody is not doing that. First off, I don't criticize Goody all that often. And when I do, Jason usually takes up for him. So, I don't think that's going to be the case. I would not be opposed if that happened, if we felt strongly about it, and they did. The phone line's always open.
The phone line is always open. Well, Goody and LaFleur have not called, but multiple people have. Let's get to their calls here. 844-770-3776. What's your favorite draft pick of this year's Packers draft class? Let's go to Jason in Hales Corners. Jason, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. Who you got?
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Love your show. I've got Savion Williams like Tausch. I think this young man is going to do wonders here in Green Bay. LaFleur is going to have a great time with him on the field, along with Jaden Reed. I can only imagine those two lining up on either side of the field, and then what is the defense going to do? You have no clue. The kid is talented. Don't get me wrong, I love the pick with Matthew Golden, but, my guy is Savion Williams. Thanks for taking my call, and I'll enjoy listening to the rest of the show. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the call, Jason. Always great to agree with Tausch. We will get you your I Agree with Tausch t-shirt when we start manufacturing them. I don't know. Did you know anything about Savion Williams before Friday night?
No.
Had you come across him at all? It's the Deebo Samuel comp that gets you excited. Clearly,
well, no,
right?
It's not only that. I mean, you watch the highlights and you see kind of how he was utilized. Obviously, the Deebo Samuel comp. I'm not interested in Deebo Samuel now, who's beaten up, and maybe he'll come around. But that's the kind of guy that brings a mentality. And I know Jesse. I'm not going to comp him out to an Alan Lazard because obviously Lazard was more of a physical, I'm going to punch people in the mouth guy. I want a guy like that. It can't be that we have 6 wideouts and 5 of them do the same thing. I want guys to find their role and execute it. And there's got to be jockeying to find those spots. Matthew Golden just pulled into the lead. He is now, we got the Derby coming up. He's on the post. He's sitting there. He's got a nice lead as far as who's going to be. Jaden Reed's trailing. He's stalking. Dontavion Wicks, he's got a ways to go. And he's got some major catching up to. Doesn't mean he can't come back. But where I like Savion Williams is he is going to be the lead horse when it comes to, I'm going to run the football. I want to do jet sweeps. I want him to be versatile. And when I saw 6 rushing touchdowns from a wide receiver, I like that. I like that a lot. And I think that's where you see and comp that or bring that with the comp to Deebo. There's some things that you get really excited about.
Do you know what number Savion Williams will be wearing?
No.
He will be wearing number 83. Your famous 83s include Marquez
Chatty.
Valdez-Scantling. What?
Chatham.
Chapman. Samari Toure. John Jefferson.
Yeah, JJ, back in the day. JJ.
Antonio Chapman. Terry Glenn, your former teammate as well, like Antonio Chapman.
Very talented young man.
Tom Crabtree. Jeff Thomason. And another young, athletic wide receiver that a lot of people were excited about once upon a time, Jeff Janis.
Yeah.
So those are your number 83s.
I hear that list, and I think
Savion's already number 2.
He's got a chance to be one of the best 83s we've seen. That's what I think.
In a related story, and I don't know exactly how this played out, but Matthew Golden was going to be number 81, and I saw there was at least one person in the crowd at the draft who had already gotten his 81 jersey, and now Matthew Golden is 22 as a wide receiver. So that's a little odd. Jim on the South Side texts in, do you think there's a trade looming for an existing wide receiver on the roster? So are they going to deal someone now that they've drafted 2 wide receivers? It's a good question.
Well, I have this question for you. Christian Watson's not going anywhere. I know, there was some tweets from some family members that were a little, I don't know if you
his
want to say
dad was not pleased
or not happy, and I totally understand that. But I am wondering how Romeo Doubs is going to handle this.
Probably not going to come to work.
How is he going to approach this? Is he going to approach this in a, I'm going to attack this, and I'm going to show you guys that you need to pay me and keep me here? And I still don't think that's going to be enough. Unless he has an all-time type season, this is going to be his last year in Green Bay. And this draft, I think, illustrates that again. I think Christian Watson will have a chance if he can come back and play at the end of the season. He'll have a chance to continue, but I would guess this probably it gives you outs on being forced. The last thing you want to do if you're Russ Ball or Brian Gutekunst is, we don't have anybody. We have to pay one of these guys this money because we need one of them. This gives you those outs. This gives you a chance to reset the rookie contract. It says if I don't want to pay Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson, I don't have to because we have guys that are in their third year, and now we reset with 2 top 3 picks to really approach and readdress the situation at wideout, which by all accounts last year just wasn't good enough.
Christian Watson's dad was live streaming during the draft. These idiots, they don't want to win, was the quote that I saw that caught my attention.
I'm not going to lie to you. I know Packer fans and people can be upset with that, and you have every right to, but I don't have one problem at all with his dad being upset because this was not good for Christian Watson. It just wasn't. And I think all of us that have kids, I get it. I don't think you should do it. I don't think it's smart. But I understand where he's coming from.
Sure, but you just
don't live stream it.
Well, to expound on
that. Yeah, no, I just said I totally agree with that. But
you would
get
never,
where he's coming from.
You would never do that to Max. Denny would have never done that to you.
He
may have been unhappy privately, but he wouldn't have done that to you, right? Like I've had this conversation.
Here's the deal. I just said I understand where he's coming from. I'm not condoning what he did. I get it. It's not helping his kid.
No,
but
it's not. That's my issue.
He's a human being who is incredibly passionate about his kid. And if anybody knows that more, and my guess is you wouldn't do it, but you would make snarky comments on here that if Sid wasn't getting the playing time and somebody else just got brought in from a neighboring school, I would bet that you're going to be saying, maybe we need to look at these transfer rules in high school. If some kid from West Pier comes in and takes Sid's spot, I'm guessing you're going to say, I really think the WIA and then I'll be wondering, well, why is Jason on the WIA transfer portal rules? Oh, but boom. That's how you would do it in a much more passive-aggressive way than Christian Watson's dad. That's what would happen.
I appreciate you bringing that up, but again, what I don't get about that scenario is that Christian Watson feels like the exact opposite of that. Like, one of the great things...
Publicly.
Right.
He does. You don't know what goes on behind
right.
closed
I'm
doors.
sure. Look, but again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's pissed off privately, he doesn't behave that way publicly. And I think that when you are at this level, that's not help. Your dad getting involved does not help. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm going to say this too. Yes, in the public perception world, but in that locker room and in there, none of that matters. They'll just say, "Oh, your dad." I think Goody and everybody else. Now, if you skip practices and miss a game, that sets it back. But if Christian Watson just shows up and rehabs and works, and the fact that his dad had a live stream of doing this, it's completely irrelevant. That's my point. Does it help? No. But is it going to hurt Christian Watson? No, it's not. If Christian Watson comes back healthy and is productive, you think anybody is going to be sitting there saying, well, I'm not going to sign him because his dad live streamed something? No, that's not how this works, Jason.
You're right. You're right about that. Doug in the ESPN
Am I
Madison.
correct that you would be all in on the WIA transfer portal rules if something like that happened?
No, I don't think you're entirely correct. I don't.
But I'm not wrong.
The one thing that I never want to do is do anything that is going to hurt Madison or Sydney.
Yeah, but you can't help yourself, and you know that.
No, I think I can when
I've
it comes
seen
to
you.
them.
You guys
Okay.
excited for
I'll take your word for it.
NIL, WIA NIL?
Doug in the YouTube comments, is Sydney available to play? Someone can't stay on the field. Again, that's not fair to Christian Watson. Tore his ACL. Funny, but tore his ACL in a game that he wasn't supposed to be playing in. And then Romeo Doubs was sick. And then I don't understand why they put him. I don't know why they activated him for the Bears game. If they didn't even necessarily care
dumb.
about winning. It's just
It was dumb.
galactically stupid.
I do have a question, though.
Yes.
Obviously, Wilde and Tausch, we're doing well. Show's going great. I think we should look at getting into the NIL, WIA. I think we should look at partnering up with some high school athletes. I'm being dead serious here.
Like you want
What do you
them
think?
to endorse us?
Yes.
Okay.
What do we think?
I think I was going to go to a phone call, and now you've derailed us with we're going to
You
get.
can.
Hey,
well, Doug brought it up. I didn't.
Let's think
I
about
didn't bring it up.
Let's
Doug did.
Maybe let's think about it and have an off-air conversation about it.
I don't understand what your vision
Not
is.
how
for
this show works.
No,
Not how
it
this
100% is not, first of all.
What do you mean you don't know my vision for it? Let's go find a couple of stud Wisconsin high school athletes, and let's bring them into the Wilde and Tausch. The high school NIL crew, this is not going to be millions of dollars here.
You want the Catholic
I'm in.
Memorial left tackle to be like, hey,
I don't know.
When I'm tuning into radio shows when I'm in class, it's Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon.
Yes. Yeah, there's some things. We'll talk off air. How's that? Let's talk off air. I have some ideas.
Okay,
I think the NIL and the WIA world is incredibly crazy. I can't believe it.
And you want to dive in head first.
It's here. And unlike the NCAA where I would have said, well, you shouldn't have paid athletes, I'm not putting my head in the sand here. I can think something isn't the best thing to do, but I also can lift my head up out the sand and say, there's some opportunity. I'm going to be an ostrich that thinks opportunity, not, that's another great grain of sand.
You want the starting goalie for Edgewood hockey to have a Wilde and Tausch mask that he's wearing out on the ice?
That's actually a pretty good idea.
I don't know exactly what we all want to do, but I know I want to get involved. That I know.
You better be careful, because if we find
How so?
a high school athlete who delivers for Quick Trip better than you do, they might take this position of telling us about how great Quick Trip is.
That's fair. Life is busy, and Quick Trip gets it. And whether you're craving at fresh coffee, at baked good, Quick Trip is your go-to. They have a variety of apps and meals ready when you are. You know, I love the mozzie sticks. You can pick what you want. They got those little mini tacos. Those are good, too. Head over to Quick Trip where they're serving up their legendary Nordinary chicken. Juicy chicken tenders or boneless wings that are hand-breaded, fried up to perfection and ready to go. And today, it's Monday, so you know it's that rotisserie chicken. And I'm going to challenge people. How many meals can you get out of that rotisserie chicken? I think you can get 3. I think you can
Especially
get
if you get a bag
meals.
of soup, too, to dump the extra chicken in.
Minimum of 3. And if you want to use bones for bone broth, I'll count that as a 4th for a soup.
Oh, come on.
So now you're getting 4. I think you can get 3 to 4 meals. No, I think you can.
Don't count.
Bone broth, yes, that does. It's a stock. Come on, guys. You can do that. You got all kinds of options, or you can just get the tenders. You can grab Quick Trip's crispy fried chicken sandwich. Perfect for a quick bite. Plus, you get that 8-piece fried chicken meal that'll feed the whole crew. Well, and now, white bread, 99 cents a loaf, so you can get another chicken sandwich out of that rotisserie. You got it all. Craveless, boneless pork, loin chops, 99 cents. The Quickery Bratwurst, 5 for $2.99. Fuel your day with quality taste. Quick Trip is your one stop for variety. Order ahead or for pickup or curbside delivery. Quick Trip. We will see ya next time.
Only get the bratwurst if Tausch didn't cook it. That would be my advice for you.
I don't know. I won. I would say don't want Bulaga cooking it the way it does.
Yeah.
Old T cooked it up pretty good. Canty, Canty loved it. Chris Canty voted me to win. He wasn't even a judge.
Who voted a tie? They were getting after whoever did that. Was that Tucker Kraft voted a tie?
Yeah, it was Tucker. Yeah, it was Tucker.
Nah. Weak.
Eric in Green Bay, Jamon in Dallas, and Jeff in Milwaukee. We'll get to you guys next. The number 844-770-3776. Your favorite Packers draft pick. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I don't know if I'm in the minority here, but I would love to see the Packers go 110% all in, make it to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, lose the Super Bowl. Either way, they made it to a Super Bowl. And then if they don't make the playoffs for the next 4 or 5 years, I'm happy. Do you believe in that, or do you want just this continued sustained success?
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Chevy Truck Month is back. Get more truck for your buck at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Right now, get 2.9% APR financing for 72 months and $6,000 off MSRP on a 2025 Chevy Silverado. That's right, 2.9% for 6 years. That really is more truck for your buck. But hurry, offer ends on April 30th. Never overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet. No down payment required. Monthly payments equal $15.15 per 1,000 financed with approved credit through GM Financial.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Don't ever say it's over if I'm breathing. Racing to the moonlight and I'm speeding. I'm headed to the stars, ready to go far. I'm start walking. Don't ever say it's over.
Let's get right to your calls before we get distracted. Who's your favorite pick? Tausch has got Savion Williams. Jesse's got Matthew Golden. Mine is Baron Sorrell. We'll talk a little bit about him maybe later in the program, maybe not. Depends if we run out of time to do so. But you can certainly read all about him at channel3000.com because he was my favorite story of the weekend. Let's get to your calls. Let's go to Eric in Green Bay first. Eric, good morning. How are you?
Morning, guys. Doing well. How are you?
Morning.
Good. Did you? How many days of the draft did you and the kiddos attend?
2 out of the 3. So I figured a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old and rain aren't a good combination. So I didn't go Friday, but we got the first round and day 3.
Did you have one of those baby backpacks for the 8-month-old?
Bjorn. I bet it was baby Bjorn.
Yeah,
Bjorn
like
Borg.
Hey, actually, it is a baby Bjorn brand. So yeah, it's the front pack. So we wore on the front, very similar. If you've
I had one of those.
You've seen The Hangover, just like how yeah.
The girls don't fit in it anymore.
She's rocking it. She's having a good time.
Yeah. So who's your pick?
Yeah, yours would not.
Who's your guy?
So from a fit standpoint, I love the Matthew Golden pick, and part of it is just from the flexibility. Obviously, he's an immediate hopeful replacement for Christian Watson, and then I think it takes less pressure off Watson coming back from the ACL at full speed, and then like you guys have hinted at earlier in the show, it gives us some more flexibility for next year. I would be surprised if even one of the two between Watson and Dobbs come back, but there is maybe a potential for a prove-it deal or if something works out. What I don't want for us is to be in a position where we're rolling out Alan Lazard as wide receiver 1, so whether that's Wicks or Melton, et cetera. It hopefully gives us a little bit of flexibility where we might have an alpha the next year, or at least we know what we have. But actually, from my favorite story is the same as yours, Jason. I was there yesterday, and that Baron Sorrell story was absolutely awesome. So if anybody hasn't checked that out, or you can check out your story on Channel 3000, that was pretty cool. Like there was a little bit of a buzz around when he actually came out, and fans started realizing he's here. And then going home and hearing the interviews at the floor that like they didn't know he was here too.
Right.
That was a really, really special moment. So a couple follow-up questions, if you guys have the time. For you, Jason, I'm curious as to if you have any comps or like where that ranks for you as far as like draft day stories, because that was so cool. And then old T, I know you've kind of talked in the past, but Like, how does this relate to you getting picked by the Packers and kind of like a hometown feel-good story? Obviously, Barron Sorrell's not from the area, but just kind of cool draft stories.
Well, I'll let Tausch answer first, because the one thing he and Barron Sorrell have in common is they both thought they'd go earlier than they did. And I know lots of guys think that, but Barron Sorrell was there on Friday in the green room for the second and third rounds thinking that's where he was going, and he didn't go. And he actually thought about not even going back to the draft on Saturday, because remember, if he just gets drafted in the fourth round by the Dolphins, great, that's nice, and I suppose he would come out since he's the only guy in the green room.
I like that. You never say that word. I like that. I suppose.
But he it's not the same as when he gets drafted by the Packers and he gets basically the hero's welcome that his Texas teammate Matthew Golden got, a lighter version, but still, I mean, he's out there leading the Go Pack Go chants. He's got a selfie stick, which I hadn't seen anybody use in a while. It was pretty amazing. But you saw the reaction. Did that take you back 25 years? I know it's not the 25th anniversary. You've clarified that. But the 25 years since you were picked?
No, I mean, I don't think the two are comparable, other than the fact that maybe we both hoped we went earlier. I love the story of Sorrell, probably not as much as you, but I think it takes a lot for you to come in, be humbled, and then to stick it out, especially in today's NIL, high school, college realm, where a little bit of adversity and it's just easy to throw up a deuces and head out of town. You stick around and you get rewarded for that with the hero's welcome in Green Bay. The commissioner comes out in his casual clothes and does the introduces you. And then I started wondering, well, can anybody come to the draft? They invite certain people. I think this should be a story, and I love what this story says. And I don't know if this guy's going to be a great player or not. I know, being drafted 124th, he's going to have all kinds of opportunities, especially in a team that everybody is craving edge rush. He's going to get chances. And his story, he elevates himself up with the fan base. He's going to have a chance. If he wants to A.J. Dillon things, he'll be able to. The fans will love him. He should be out doing everything he can in the community again, and because he's got a lot of goodwill that is built up because of how he handled himself and how he carried himself. So I think it is a great story, and now I just hope that he is a really good football player and has a long career in Green Bay.
Thanks for the call, Eric. We appreciate you. Yeah, look, I am a sucker for the story. His story is not just great because of the fact that the team had no idea he was even in Green Bay, and then they end up picking him. And Goody wondering why it was so loud in the background when he called him to let him know that they were picking him. And then Matt Klein asking him to try and plan his travel for the rookie camp, and Barron telling him, well, I got to fly home first before I can fly to rookie camp, and no one bothering to ask him, well, where are you now that you have to fly home first? That was pretty crazy. But again, like Milt Hendrickson said, that is how the draft works for these guys. They are so tunnel vision that they're kind of in this bubble and had no idea. They literally did not know until he walked on stage. And Matt LaFleur said that when the commissioner came out, he thought the commissioner was introducing someone else to introduce the pick of Sorrell. And it turned out there was Barron coming down the walkway from the green room in the Resch Center. All right, 844-770-3776. Let's go to Jamon in Dallas. Jamon, how are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're good. Who'd you like the best?
Oh, well, I mean, you guys kind of took over. But I like Warren Brinson. I like the fact that we added some big, heavy guys on the defensive side. Maybe somebody can come in and give Devontae Wyatt and Kenny Clark a little run for their money. Anytime we add a guy from Georgia, I like him. Georgia kind of produces dogs. I don't know if you see what the Eagles are doing over there.
Pardon the pun.
And and the Barron Sorrell story, like that was my guy. I love him. I'm from Dallas, so I'm a Texas fan, and watching him and Matthew Golden, both of them guys are studs, and I just love to see the Green Bay pick them up. And I mean, just to give Lucas Van Ness a run for his money, to give these guys a run for their money, to see who maybe one day he could be a starter, or maybe we just never know.
So because
maybe he can become an all-time great.
Because you follow the Longhorns, I'm curious. You know, you only had Matthew Golden for a year, right? He had been at Houston before that, but he obviously was big time in some big games like the SEC championship game. And then obviously the season that Sorrell had, it was the best season of his 4-year career there. What, from being a fan, what was your vibe on each of those guys that now the NFL team that you're a fan of got both of them?
It's a fantastic feeling. I mean, like I said, just being able to watch these guys from Texas and then be able to go watch them in Green Bay, I can hope for the best for them. I really want to see what they can do on the field. Hopefully they leave a good representation for Texas. And 2 guys coming from the SEC, so I'm sure they're going to come in and be dominant once they get their playing time. So.
All right, we appreciate the call, Jamon. I am curious, Tausch, when you look at Matthew Golden, because you're excited about Savion Williams, what's realistic for us to be expecting from him? He's at a position where there's certainly opportunity. At the same time, Goody did say that he didn't necessarily need his first-round pick to have an impact right away. I believe that is probably out the window at this point.
No, I think it all depends, again, on opportunity, and he's going to have a ton of opportunity. This isn't a first-round running back where you had Josh Jacobs. That's not the case. The opportunity will be there. I would think you want to see where he's at, find out kind of how quickly he can pick things up, and at worst, you have a package of plays to get him started, and at best, he can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would look at it. I'm not going to force anything with him, but what I'm not going to also do, I'm not spoon feeding. Here you got a big old ladle. How much can we put on there? If we can fill it up and you can wolf, go ahead. If you need to start small and then we'll keep building, great. But I don't want it to be a case where it's, let's just, let's baby him. There ain't no baby in winning chips. You will get what you can, and he is going to want to be sucking down a full ladle. He doesn't want to be nibbling. He's going to want to go. The Packers are going to want him to go, but it's got to make sense. And as long as you build to it and you see, and once you see it, you understand you're not going to maybe the first time get it all in. You're going to have some spillage. Stuff's going to go. Eventually you want to get where it is going to be like, man, he's getting a mouthful and we're ready to go.
But Savion Williams maybe is more of a putting together packages for him potentially because of his
he's more of a soup spoon. I don't want to give him a ladle.
Okay.
Now, doesn't mean he can't get there. He's a soup spoon guy. Let's give him a soup. Let's give him a spoon. Let him see how much he can eat. And we'll go from there.
And we'll get him a ladle.
Soup spoon guy.
And a bag of soup from Quick Trip. Hey, dream fearlessly, but insure carefully when you get excited about your draft picks.
Well, and American Family Insurance, a proud sponsor of Wilde and Tausch. They were everywhere up at the Tundra Trio. Saw a lot of great agents, and for almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection, so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
More of your calls and texts on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. Listens more. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Did you miss Hunter Vaughn and the Dean Dennis Semrau this week? No fear, you can listen back on the ESPN Wisconsin app. This week, they took a look at the top athletes from around the area. Plus, they were joined by the head track and field coach of Sun Prairie East, Doug Moan, as well as a future Badger and defending 400-meter champion, Nicole Repka of Verona. Again, you can listen back on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We shopped at Chalmers because my husband wanted to get me a larger diamond in my engagement ring.
The folks at Chalmers said, well, we could just make it like this and we could do these things. Really just basically decided that there wasn't any place else we wanted to shop.
But not only did they create this new engagement ring for me with this gorgeous center stone, they also rehabbed this other ring, and I am beyond pleased.
Her favorite thing to do now is to walk around and show her hands and have people comment on it.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
The keys of a new Audi are in reach at Audi of Madison. Save $3,000 on a new 2025 Audi Q5, A3 sedan, A5 Sportback, or A6 sedan. National Credit is good towards the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until April 30th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see the current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline at Rimrock Road.
Hey, want to make your next meal a little less, ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. We love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
This ain't a good time, but when is it ever? I know the perfect time, and maybe that's never. So don't you dare leave me now. Throw my heart on the ground. 'Cause tonight ain't the night for sorrow.
Let's go back to the phones. Your favorite Packers draft pick. 844-770-3776. Then we'll get to your texts after that. Let's go to Jeff in Milwaukee. Jeff, thanks for hanging on through the break. We appreciate you, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. So a couple questions real quick.
Tausch, what did you think of my Tausch imitation on Friday? Did you think it was good or just kind of average?
I thought you're good. It's been a while
thanks.
since we had talked to you, so yeah, I thought you did well with it.
Thanks. Okay, so
Yeah, wait a minute.
you got,
wait a minute. First of all, it was fine.
Mark Tauscher here.
What? But
what I just said.
did we ever
I
establish
didn't say it
where
was Star Spangled Awesome.
like Jeff was a frequent caller, very frequent.
Yeah.
And then he went dark.
Great
for
on
a
our
while.
post-game show. Always, Jeff is always calling on our
Yes,
post-game. I love
really,
it.
one of our best callers that we have. Everything okay? You're good? It's been a while.
everything is great. It's just I like I told you guys, I listen to the show all the time, but now we're getting into the higher engagement period. The draft, and then we get
okay.
so
you pick your spots for the largest audience.
He's kind of like Tausch. He's great when he's on, and then he goes dark for a while.
yeah, exactly. Except I'm not in Sonoma or Napa hanging out like Tausch is, which is pretty
Not
sweet
yet.
to do. Yeah,
Not yet.
Yeah. So, in terms of the draft, obviously, how can you not love the Baron Sorrell story? Which is great. My two favorite picks actually are Oliver and Williams, and I just think one of the things that I think Goody is doing, he's not only creating options in the wide receiver room over the next 2 years, he's clearly creating options on the offensive line. Because you got some people that are their contracts. I mean, Jenkins has 1 year left, and then Ryan, he's got 1 year left. So he's clearly trying to get some big, young talent in there. And I just think that these guys are going to end up being good picks. And the thing I like about Oliver is the same thing I like about Sorrell. And beyond the Sorrell story is, if you notice, the common denominator between both those guys is their fast twitch, quick edge rushers, and that type of edge rusher is one that we've lacked. Lucas Van Ness, Gary, all these guys are kind of power guys, but we don't have the quick guys. And I think both those guys are quick twitch, and it'll be very interesting to see what they can do. So those are. I just think it was smart to get a potential player and a tackle in the 7th round. I just thought that was a really good pick. So those are my favorite picks. And you guys, once again, thanks for having the show. It's amazing. You guys do an awesome job.
So Jeff, great points. A good impression last week. Jason said not great, so that's fine. But I do think, and this is the part that I think players see this, and I think a lot of times fans maybe don't, and that is, as a front office, you want to give yourself outs. You don't want to play Texas Hold'em and go all in and hope. You want to give yourself some outs of, well, if I end up getting maybe I like 6'7", but it's not suited, so I'm not going to go in. This draft, I think, it gives you an opportunity for straights and flushes, and you can still catch your full house or your pairs, because you don't want to say, I need Sean Ryan to be here. I don't want to be where I am hamstrung and I have to go all in and pay him because we don't have any other alternatives. And what we saw last year in Philly was a slap to the face of the front office that said, we aren't there. We thought we had depth. We thought we were in position. We better make sure that we have a couple more outs. We better not just go and stick with hoping that we catch the right card. We better give ourselves 2 or 3 options to catch a hand that can win. And it's the same thing at the wide receiver spot. Well, I hope Dobbs is more mature, and I hope that we can count on him. But now if he isn't, well, Savion Williams is here. Well, Matthew Golden's here. Oh, we still have options. This is about giving yourself options to have more opportunities than just putting all your eggs in a basket or hoping that you catch this miraculous gut shot straight when you could have just waited for a flush or full house and you have more opportunity. There you go. Great call, Jeff. I hate when you give me that, I don't fully understand. Oh, Robert Herjavec on Shark Tank. Well, what do you mean? I don't get that. What don't you understand about what I just said? Because I can tell you didn't understand.
The old Robert Herjavec.
You ever watched Shark? And I haven't. In fairness, I have not watched Shark Tank in 2 or 3 years. But it would be literally, you'd be sitting there and somebody's pitching their idea. Like our buddy from Just the Cheese would pitch this idea, and he'd be like, I didn't know that you could do that with cheese. Well, I didn't know that you could do that. And you're kind of like, dude, you're a billionaire. How the hell do you not know this? So continue. That's how I feel about you right now.
I can't continue. I hadn't even started.
The old
your face, your face let me know what you were thinking.
No, I just wondered when you had left the show and been replaced by Phil Hellmuth. That's what I was wondering. Phil Hellmuth, a 17-time World Series of Poker player, champion, I believe. That apparently they get bracelets when they win.
They do. So Jesse will understand.
Someone's going to Vegas next week.
To,
He's got Vegas on the mind.
Clearly,
I
right?
do have Vegas on my mind. But here's the deal: you get two cards to start when you're playing Texas Hold'em.
Yes.
Then the board gets 3. It's called the flop. And what you try to do is, I don't want to just say, well, if I don't catch a third 3, I'm screwed. What you can do is you say, well, I have a 2-3, and I have a straight option if a 4 and a 5 are up there, and if there's 2 clubs and I have 2 clubs in my hand, so I can now win with 2s and 3s, I can win with a flush, I can win with a straight. I'm giving myself options that when I get the turn and the river, which is the next card, and then the next card, which is the season progressing, oh, you know what? Old boy has showcased himself. I got to pay him because he's really good. Oh, and now I have Belton, who's going to develop and be a good player, and maybe I can put him out at left tackle if something happens to, Jordan Morgan. It gives you options. You don't want to get stuck hoping that a 3 comes flopping off the river with a 4% chance when you can have flush and straight opportunities to go with it. That's all. Be a good time for a Hard Rock read.
A very good time, actually.
Why don't you tell us about the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford right now?
Well, the Packers just gave themselves options when you're playing Texas Hold'em or you're playing blackjack and you have that ace. These guys, a lot of aces in this draft. They can be 1, they can be 11. And you know what? If you're looking for that, the new Hard Rock Casino Rockford is the place to go. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, including more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. The Hard Rock Live Entertainment Venue, it is a 23,000 square foot premium concert and event space. Features more than 1,000 feet of LED screens to enhance the experience for up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination. Again, you're heading down 90. You're going over towards O'Hare. You look over on your left-hand side in Rockford. You see that big old beautiful purple and gold neon guitar flashing on the left-hand side right off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. A great read. That was a great little segment by old T right there, if I do say so myself.
And you did.
Jesse, you're a gambler. Did you understand exactly what I was saying, and does it not fit perfectly with what we're trying to explain here?
I did, but it felt like you had a little bit of an agenda. For that reason, I'm out.
There was no agenda. Hard Rock wasn't even the next read. There was no agenda.
Thank you, Herchevek. I'm out.
You're talking about an agenda. The heck out of here.
We need to get to a few of your texts, and we'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. There is nothing like a great summer road trip. And whether you're traveling around the state or around the country, it's the time of year to start thinking about your plans to hit the road for a new adventure in the coming months. And with all the things to consider, what to do, how to get there, where you'll stay, the absolute last thing you want to worry about for a summer road trip is car trouble. Make sure your vehicle is ready to take on every potential challenge thanks to the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on fun and not finding maintenance help during your summer road trip this year. Call Zimbrick Chevrolet to schedule an appointment with their incredible service team or check out their services and schedule an appointment online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie. The name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Beauty Rest Black mattresses at Steinhoffels. The new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing only at Steinhoffels.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. The 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay featured some significant Wisconsin Badgers influence. Several former Badgers announced draft picks, including College Football Hall of Famers Joe Thomas and Monte Ball. The UW Marching Band helped kick off festivities on Day 3 in Titletown. And of course, 2 Badgers were selected, both in the 7th round. Offensive lineman Jack Nelson drafted by the Falcons and safety Hunter Wohler selected by the Colts.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Delta Dental is proud to sponsor Family Sundays at Helfair Field. Play catch on the field on Sundays from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. prior to Brewers' regular season home games. Admission is free.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is our crew.
Terrain is up, scrambling home. He's going to score, and Yelich into third. Oh, the Brewers with the double steal.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball, 100.5 ESPN.
To move toward some of your text messages, as much as I'd like to discuss Texas Hold'em strategy with World Series of Poker champion and soon-to-be Las Vegas visitor, tourist, Mark Tauscher. Jesse, what do we have on the text portion of the Carbless Talking text line?
I got a new show for Tausch, by the way. What's it called? $1 Million Secret on Netflix. We got through like 5 episodes yesterday afternoon. It's like The Mole, where there's a secret millionaire and you're trying to figure out who it is. Like, it's a guessing game and competitions. One of the people's a poker player, which is why I thought of it just now. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Dance and Danny, fun fact, Matthew Golden, 40-yard combine, 4.29. Bo Melton, 40-yard combine, 4.34. The Packers already have a Matthew Golden-like speedster on the team. Seems like lots of fans didn't know Bo. I think I get what he's going for. It's Dance and Danny. So he's not a fan of the Matthew Golden pick is what that sounds like.
What do you mean you get what he's saying? You're saying Bo Melton needs to be the guy?
He's saying that Matthew Golden is basically the same as Bo Melton.
I don't agree with it, but I get what he's saying.
So he's not saying Bo Melton should get these opportunities. He's saying we got another Bo Melton on our hands.
Yeah, they basically drafted the same player. Now, look, I am a huge Bo Melton fan as a person. And if he got more opportunities, I think he would have more production because we have seen him have a big game in Minnesota. He didn't get a ton of opportunities last season, not a ton of targets. But their draft grades do matter. And whether it's Bo Melton being a 7th-round pick by the Seattle Seahawks and Matthew Golden being a 1st-round pick by the Green Bay Packers or not, there is probably a difference beyond just a 5/100ths of a second difference in 40-yard dash time in terms of talent. And I hope Bo Melton is on this team. If you made me choose who I want on the team, Jair Alexander, who I've said I'd like to see them keep for selfish reasons, or Bo Melton, who I'd like him to keep for selfish reasons, 10 out of 10 times I'm picking Bo Melton. Like he is one of those authentically really good dudes. But I don't think the weekend was great for his roster status. As much as Christian Watson's dad wants to complain about it, Bo Melton's family, not quite the same dynamic. I don't see that complaint from his parents, but they'd have a worthwhile argument.
Speaking of families, how about the Watts? John texts in. During the draft weekend, there was a lot of talk about T.J. Watt being unhappy with his contract and the Packers possibly putting together picks, not picks like pictures, picks like draft picks for a trade with Pittsburgh. Have you heard anything of that? Is that a possibility for the Packers to get T.J. Watt? I'll add in, could they send Romeo Doubs and a pick to the Steelers for T.J. Watt?
I have not heard that the Packers have any sort of authentic interest in T.J. Watt. We all know that we like T.J. Watt's production, but has T.J. Watt celebrated his 30th birthday?
He has.
He definitely has. Is Goody going to give up picks and a big contract for T.J. Watt? No, he's going to draft the guys he drafted and believe in the guys he's already got on the roster. Like, look, again, incredible story if that were to happen, right? I mean, we'd be talking about it till the cows come home. But if it didn't happen, by the way, I saw a segment on ESPN where they ran through like 4 or 5 players that are disgruntled and could be traded during the draft. How many of those players got traded during the draft? 0. I think Sam Howell was the only player that might have gotten traded during the draft to the Vikings because they're not going to get Aaron Rodgers, I guess. And the Steelers did come out. I mean, their owner, Art Rooney III, saying that they've been in communication with Rodgers and they expect him to be on the team. They're planning on him. So, again, we'll see if and when that happens. But T.J. Watt to the Packers, not seeing it.
By the way,
so if T.J. Watt were...
You asked
if he were to come...
He is 30. He turns 31 in October. Just wanted to give you that real quick because you asked.
If he were to come to the Green Bay Packers, it would be in October when Pittsburgh stinks, and they're like, he's not going to re-sign, and it will be a rental type deal for the back half of this season. That will be the scenario I could see a T.J. Watt come into Green Bay for like a third they're not going to give up a first-round pick and pay him. Like, that is just not in the cards for where Green Bay's at.
He is in the final year of his deal, according to Spotrac, $21 million base salary, $30.4 million cap number.
Yeah, but that'll be whittled down as the season goes, too.
Right, but I'm saying, do they want to go into the season with him costing $30 million on the cap, or are they going to keep him?
The answer to this will be Pittsburgh will get him a new deal.
Correct.
I'm saying
That's
the only
where I
way
was
he
going.
comes to Green Bay is if he doesn't, and it's a rental-type operation in October-ish. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it, and I agree that
it probably won't happen.
He most likely will just be a Steeler with a new contract going into the 2025 season, and he'll have plenty of money to spend if he gets that contract. And, of course, if he's smart, when he banks, he'll bank at Associated Bank. Whether he's with the Packers or not, whether you're a Packers fan or not, whether you're a Badgers fan or not, whether you're a Brewers fan or not, you are a fan of great customer service, and that is what Associated Bank has for everyone, no matter what your sports allegiance. Early pay. Get access to your money up to 2 days early with your employer direct deposit. Fraud protection. Everybody needs to be protected from fraud, and they are as good as it gets when it comes to that. Credit monitoring, so you know what your credit score is, so you know where you're at when you're trying to get a loan. And, of course, those more than 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. Those are all just some of the great things that come with being an Associated Bank customer. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour, and Tausch, our NBA insider, wants to talk about the Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what there is to say, but we'll find out from the big fella next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Listen live and on demand to all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows at the touch of a fingertip. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple and Android app stores. The Milwaukee Bucks facing elimination, down 3-1 in their opening round Eastern Conference playoff series, falling 129-103 at the hands of the Indiana Pacers last night. Damian Lillard leaving the game in the first quarter with an injury, did not return, not yet confirmed by the team, but speculation is that it is an Achilles injury. Head coach Doc Rivers after the game.
It's just such a great freaking dude, like on the basketball level, but more important, like as a teammate and a father and all that stuff. So that's why I feel bad. It's just tough. I've seen injuries like deflate teams, but tonight, that one hurt.
Of course, Damian Lillard missed the end of the regular season, came back in Game 2 of the series, returning from deep vein thrombosis. Bucks-Pacers Game 5 tomorrow, 5 o'clock tip. Pre-game coverage starts at 4:30 here on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Which is a good thing that we're shifting gears to the Bucks because it's getting a little ugly and chippy in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments. People telling other people to shut up.
Uh-oh, come on now.
Not very nice.
Saying,
let's have some disagreements, but let's be respectful.
Yeah.
I thought that's
you
what
can disagree,
YouTube's all
but
about.
not be disagreeable.
Exactly.
There's some Chicagoans that have infiltrated the conversation.
No, we want people in.
Well,
but let's
no,
just
but
have
I
a
think
good dial.
I think they're part of stirring up the ill will.
Why is that always happening in the Milwaukee comments? The Madison comments aren't nearly as feisty. They get feisty, but not nearly as feisty.
Well, we have a ringleader kind of in the ESPN Madison. Again, for whatever reason, they don't allow me in, even though I'm a subscriber. I can't see.
You're not a subscriber.
What is happening?
Then.
No, I am. I showed you that I am. I'm not going to fight you on that.
Showed me.
You go to the ESPN Milwaukee chat and go fight. I'm not going to. So I want to say something here, and you guys can tell me where I'm right and where I'm wrong.
You're right.
I think that the Milwaukee Bucks made the right move in trading for Dalla Dame, even with all this said and done. I still believe that's what they needed to do. But you could play the results. It obviously has not worked. We're not going to sit here and pile on. Dame's obviously going to be dealing with, it's not officially official, but by all accounts, he's going to be down for a long time. And I think what is going to end up happening, I think Giannis is probably going to ask out. And that's when the Milwaukee Bucks as an organization have to think, well, they're never going to get the value back for Giannis. What Giannis is completely, there is no value to get in return for what he's done and how he's approached it. I now think you're going to have to package Dame with Giannis wherever you send Giannis if you decide to go down that route.
What is happening right now?
The season's over.
Your trade. So wait a
done.
minute.
Yeah, I think it's over, man. I do.
Why?
God, I hope you guys come back at me on Sunday and say, "What the hell were you thinking, old T?" That ain't gonna happen, though. You're not winning You're not gonna win 2 down in Market Square Arena.
Uh-oh!
You're not gonna win any at Market Square Arena because that's not where they play.
What time is it?
Yeah, it's Dunzo. Dunzo has made an appearance. It's over, and it was over. I think even if Dame was healthy, it would have been fun to see how last night played out. I don't know if we're winning that game anyways, but it would have been fun. It didn't. It's not going to happen. And we have to come to grips with, what are the chances that Giannis is going to say, I want to stick with this, even with Dame being out? At best, he'd be back by the postseason next year. That would probably be at best, if all of this speculation is accurate, which, again, I don't ever want to be Twitter doc. So, at this point, you are going to reload, and if somebody is going to take it, you have to put Dame in that trade package with Giannis at this point. That is where we're at as Bucks fans, I do believe. It has not worked. It hasn't worked, and a lot of it is just bad luck. There's a lot of bad luck that has happened, and I think when I asked the question, would you be satisfied with one championship in the golden era of Milwaukee Bucks basketball? If you knew all of the things were going to happen the way they did, you would say resoundingly yes. Is it going to be looked at disappointingly in 20 years? I don't know, because you got a banner. It's hard to get a banner. So I think we're at that point. I want Giannis to stay. I want him to finish his career as a Buck. I don't think that's going to be a feasible opportunity when everybody takes a look at where we're at with no draft picks, with an injury to our second best player that is going to be limited, and the Kuzma, that whole operation, it just ain't working. So this is what I think the road we have to go to, and that's where I'm going to have to take a long, hard look being an NBA guy. What are the opportunities? Right now, real early, Brooklyn and New Orleans are the 2 spots that I think we have to look at sending Giannis. That's where I'm at.
What?
Yeah.
What? Hey, Shams, Shams Chertaushia. What's going on here? What happened here?
I'm just sad.
First of all, I understand you're sad. I understand everyone's disappointed. And for Dame to suffer what
I want
appears
to preemptively, Jason, I just preemptively want to get ahead of this. I don't want to sit here and let it linger.
So you're saying Brooklyn or New Orleans are going to acquire Giannis and a ruptured Achilles tendon of Damian Lillard together?
Yeah, it's going to have to be what happens here.
Is that how trades in the NBA work? Can we get someone who actually does know the NBA on, please?
New Orleans. Jason, here's the deal. If we are going to trade Giannis, I'm obviously it's a gut punch, and it's going to set the franchise back. You can't sit with Dollar Dame with this. You're going to have to say you need to have Dame with you to go.
I don't think that's how trades work.
It can be.
Are they saying that to Giannis, or are they saying that to the Pelicans?
The Pelicans. You're not going to tell Giannis that. Giannis can say, "I don't want to be here anymore. I think it's the best time for us to move it along, and you need to just go get a ton of picks. And I'm willing to take a shot bringing Zion in to get a little star power." That's kind of where I'm at. Brooklyn obviously has all of New York's picks. They have all these draft picks. I don't know if they have any young stars or if we're just going to reload. But right now we don't have any picks. And is Giannis going to say, "I'm going to stay here when you're going to be eliminated for 3 straight years"? I just don't envision that being the case. So I want to get ahead of it so I'm not sitting here crying in my soup in June and in July when they're going to be trading him. That's where I'm at.
All right. So, first of all, Damian Lillard's contract, he is under contract for 25-26 with a $54 million cap hit / apron salary. The 26-27, by the way, Damian Lillard is 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 34, turning 35 for next season player coming off of a ruptured Achilles.
Allegedly.
Most likely.
Let's be responsible.
Alleged Achilles.
He then has a player option for 26-27, and then he will be a free agent after the 26-27 season. Again, I'm not entirely sure. This is not my lane, and quite frankly, I don't think it's yours either.
It's not, but I'm saying you understand why I'm saying what, because we are giving up. We're not going to get anything close to value back when we trade Giannis. We just won't. There's nobody, and that includes Doncic, that can do what Giannis does for us. I hope that Giannis is just content and wants to finish his career in Milwaukee, and we're going to rebuild and we're going to do this around him. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And if it's not, I'm saying any package that you send Giannis, I do think Dame has to go along with it because you need a total reset as a franchise. Yes, Jesse.
Jesse Nelson, ESPN Wisconsin, Bullstream TV. Tausch.
Yes.
There's a lot of critique of Doc Rivers and the job that he's done as head coach and not having the team fully prepared for a playoff run. Where do you think the future of the Bucks and Giannis and Dame means with Doc Rivers?
Yeah, he'll be gone. He's gone. It's over.
And who would you propose bringing in? Maybe the Pelicans head coach or Brooklyn?
No, I don't know about all that. I think maybe you look at Hurley from Connecticut. Maybe I want to bring him in.
Dan Hurley. He turned down the Lakers job, but he's going to come to Milwaukee.
Yeah. That's who you asked me who I'd look at. That's who I'd look at.
Dan Hurley.
You have to kind of you guys are laughing at me about this.
Trade Giannis and Dame to the Pelicans and bring in Dan Hurley. That's the conclusion we're coming to here.
Hey, listen, you guys. Hey, if you want to ostrich this, stick your head in the sand and just say, "Oh, everything will be great. Keep Doc. Let Dame come back on a blown out Achilles at 35 years old at $55 million." And you think Giannis is just going to say, "That sounds great. I'm going to do it." Great. Keep your head in the sand.
No,
I picked my head up and I'm looking like
we're not
blank.
saying that. But you
just did.
Hey, Costanza. Costanza. You're not.
This isn't a Barry Bonds, and this isn't.
No one's going to take Damian Lillard off your hands.
If you're getting Giannis, you will. Yes, you will, Jason.
Who has the space to take on both of those contracts at the same time?
Apparently Brooklyn and New
Orleans. Yes, they do.
UConn.
Hey, Jason, do you see what Bridges from Brooklyn they got for him from New York? What do you think Giannis, and if Doncic had their GM actually talk to another team, they would have gotten 5 or 6 first-round picks. You don't think Giannis is going to get that?
I don't understand.
Of course he will.
Okay. I am
and
not.
if I have to take Dalla Dame, who will still be a good player when he comes back.
In 26, 27.
That is part of the give and take of a trade when you get a megastar like Giannis. Yes.
Yes. I'm not going to pretend that I am an expert in NBA trades, but I don't like when Kevin Durant ruptured his Achilles. Was he traded then while he was rehabbing from his Achilles?
No, he opted out and he went to Brooklyn.
When Kobe Bryant ruptured his Achilles, he didn't this. It's just a really crappy injury that
he rehabbed it and he stayed with the team.
Correct. Yeah. Why can't Damian Lillard rehab it and stay with the team?
He can. Do you think the Bucks, if Giannis gets traded, wants to have $54 million tied up in Dame?
No, of course
they
don't. They don't want him injured, right? Obviously, the Jets didn't want Aaron Rodgers injured either. But to see Damian Lillard hobble off the court last night, and for that to lead you to package Giannis. I'm sorry, I can't get through this. And Damian Lillard to
the Pellies.
To New Orleans for
or
Zion
Brooklyn.
Williamson.
Or Brooklyn.
It just seems a little overreactionary to me. That's all I'm saying.
Tausch's analysis of the Bucks down 3-1 with Dame's injury is bring in Dan Hurley and take a flyer on Zion in exchange for Giannis and injured Dame.
So here's what you guys don't understand, and I don't blame you for not understanding it. The emotions of this, I get. Like, we're all bummed that this happened to Dame. I was the Dame guy.
We're all bummed.
I wanted Dame.
Bummed.
No, I am. I just said that I am.
You called it ahead of time. You were the first one on the bandwagon.
This is your
guy.
But
Wanted Dame.
now you're the
I
first
don't
one jumping
mind that we
off.
made because we weren't winning another championship at that point with Drew and with Chris Middleton. We weren't. So I love that you took a big swing. These guys haven't stayed healthy together. It sucks. It happens when guys get older. You now are at a crossroads as an organization. And again, I specify this with if Giannis is willing to stay, I want him to stay. I don't believe he'll be wanting to stay. So when you look at this, you have to, as a group, look at it and say, we need to start fresh. And is somebody going to trade for Dalla Dame with a blown-out Achilles? The answer is no. And if it is, it's going to be very limited. So everybody and their brother is going to trade for Giannis. Everybody will want Giannis Antetokounmpo. So as part of that, you're not going to get value back. You package that with Dame so that $110 million in 2 years isn't a part of the rebuild with the Milwaukee Bucks. That is all I'm saying. And for you to say that's completely unreasonable is irrational on your part. You have your head in the sand with the ostrich. That's all.
Okay. I don't. Again, this is not my area of expertise, so I do not want to speak authoritatively. But I always thought that contract numbers do have to some degree, match up as well. Do they not?
If you don't have cap, a lot of these teams have a lot of cap space because they just went through what I think, unfortunately, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to have to go through.
Of rebuilding and being bad for a long time. So this is going to be like you're telling me that this
We don't
is
have any picks. We got no picks left. We went all in. You want to know what all in looks like? What Milwaukee Bucks did the last 7 years is all in. And you know what happens? Eventually, credit card bill comes due. And you're looking at it like,
I don't. Okay,
I don't even know where to start. And you know where you start?
Is by forcing some team to take Damian Lillard and his ruptured Achilles allegedly. I just don't see this as a viable scenario. That's all. I don't think I'm an ostrich.
What are you going to do? What are you guys going to do when Giannis says he wants to be traded? And the Milwaukee Bucks and John Horst.
Dame too.
Yes.
Dan Hurley.
I will want an apology bigger than what Mel Kiper is going to get if Shedeur Sanders is first
the greatest quarterback in history. Yeah. Okay. You realize, too, I just saw something flash from the Carbless Talk and text line from Geriot in Canton, Ohio as well. I was going to say this. Isn't Zion Williamson hurt like all the time?
Yes, but I'm saying if you're going to do this, New Orleans is going to have to get rid of some salary back to the Bucks. And you might as well take a flyer on somebody that was
salary cap situation. I thought you had that all
hold
nailed
up. I
down.
know that they're going to. Hey, Ostrich, just put your head in the sand and get yourself a new shower. If you think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin, upload a photo to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. You heard me correctly. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and a removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Lugstone shower. Upload your photo by April 30th. You only got 2 or 3 days left. Need to get them in. We got some ugly ones, but I think you get a couple more ugly ones, and let's load it up here before the end of the month. Again, go to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for your chance to win that free brand new Kohler Lugstone shower.
We're going to continue the show. I'm not really sure what's going to happen next right now. I'm going to just pull my head out of the sand and conduct the next segment of the program. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like a free Wild Bite fishing kit when you spend $50 on fishing gear. Save $30 on all Curt towing hitches, and all Blazer trailer lighting is 25% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Outside Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop
that's his favorite.
and the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I say go, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I say go till you can't go. No more, no more. I say go, baby, go, go, go. I've been to a place where the drifters go. It brought me trouble, yeah, it brought me low.
Ostrich and Tausch back with you. Is it possible that maybe in the pantheon of great ideas from you that this one is not as high as some others? Is it possible?
So, I mean, listen, I've had good ideas. I've had bad ideas. And again, this is all predicated on Giannis asking out, which I think the national speculation has been he's been doing this for 10 years. I think this is the first real viable time that he might. And if he does, do I think it's a bad idea to trade a 35-year-old guard that's making $55 million along with him to get this involved so that he is going to be tradable? Because otherwise he's not. And I don't think as a young rebuilding team you want to have $55 million a year in a point guard that's injured. I don't.
I agree.
That's the harsh reality of the league. So is it a bad idea? No. Is it going to happen? I think if you're going to get a Giannis Antetokounmpo in your franchise to taking over as still in his prime, you're going to have to do some things maybe you don't want as an organization. That's why I feel the way I do. So It's not a terrible idea, regardless of Tim and regardless of Matty Coonan and everybody else. You
John
can tell
Wesley,
me that I'm an idiot, and
that
is fine. But let's see how it plays out.
Okay, and so
no, it's not a garbage idea.
And the reality is that when Giannis does not ask to be let go and move on to another team, we'll never be able to authoritatively say that Tausch was wrong about packaging Damian Lillard with him because he's not going to be traded, and then you'll be able to say, well, if they had done it, that's what they should have done, because we won't be able to conclusively say that this was idiotic. Retired Navy
fella. Yeah, I like this. He's not killing me.
You know how much it takes to get him to text in? He never does this.
I appreciate him educating me rather than just belittling me.
He's actually
I appreciate that.
He doesn't
Brooklyn
belittle
Nets fan.
you.
Who
He
knew?
just finds you to be frustrating at times.
A lot.
Retired Navy fella texts in on the Carbless Talking text line. Tausch, trades have to be within 10% of total contract values. So if you send out $110 million, you have to bring in almost as much. Now, if you can get some expiring contracts, but again, Dame's isn't really an expiring contract. He's got a player option for 26-27. Right.
As you're collecting picks, the Bucks would collect. You're right. And Jason, here's the deal. When someone is going to be getting a player of Giannis's ilk, there's going to be other teams that have to get involved too. So, yes, there's rules and regulations that I have not studied the CBA of the NBA. I haven't. But all I'm saying is when you're going to reload, this will be the time that you reload completely. If Giannis says, boys, it's been a great run, I'm out, everything needs to be on the table, including Dollar Dame, and I think that should be one of the priorities when you're getting rid or trading your best player in the history of your franchise.
Who has played a lesser percentage of their team's games over the last 2+ years? Christian Watson, Jair Alexander, Damian Lillard, or Zion Williamson? Those are all high-profile guys on their teams. It just, I'm sorry, my thought went to when I saw him hobbling to the locker room, can't this team ever catch an injury break in the playoffs? And even when they won a title, their best player had his knee bent the wrong direction and somehow miraculously didn't majorly damage his knee because he's Plastic Man, and he was able to come back and they won a title.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not Giannis missing time, now Dame getting injured. He just came back from the blood clot thing, and then he ruptures his, allegedly, Achilles. Like, Chris Middleton missing time. Giannis, what I would have liked to have seen after they won the 2021 title, well, honestly, I would have liked to have seen them keep Drew Holiday, but again, they didn't do that. But I really would have liked to have seen what this version of the Bucks could have done when everyone was healthy. Last year, it was Giannis, who was never even close to playing. Now this time, it's losing. Look, they might have lost last night and gone down 3-1 anyway, right? They weren't playing all that well early on. But I'd like to at least find out. I would like to have seen what the Dame-Giannis pairing could accomplish.
Yeah, all of us would have.
And we're not going to.
Reality is it didn't happen.
Because they're being traded to New Orleans.
Are we cursed?
You can't be cursed if you just want a title, though, right?
Are Wisconsin sports fans cursed? Yelly gets hurt, busts his leg one year. You look back in the 82 series that was just on Roku.
Raleigh fingers.
Raleigh.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
David Bakhtiari, he's playing left tackle. We ain't losing to Tampa and having that Tampa guy get up on stage clowning us. That ain't happening. Rodgers doesn't have a bum calf. He can run. The Seattle debacle doesn't happen.
Yeah, you win 14, yeah.
You know what it feels like? It's not a curse, but it's almost like a
What is it?
It's a deal with the sports devil where Wisconsin teams will always be consistently competitive and in the playoffs with bites at the apple, as they say, but you're always going to have to play one piece down. So would you rather be in the playoffs every year playing one piece down or healthy once every 4 years with a chance to make a run?
So you're playing chess with only one knight, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but you're in it
you're
every year.
You're hoping for a flush.
The Brewers are there every
flop.
year. The Bucks are in it every year now. The Packers are still consistently in the playoffs but every year it's like they're one piece down.
Tausch, tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, would you?
A lot of buzz about the big old draft that was up in Green Bay. It was a great execution by the city, by the organization. Wonderful event. You know where you're not going to find a great draft? You're not going to find drafts at Pella Windows and Doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you can take advantage of that no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Their talented designers and installers can match your home's unique decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal does end in a couple of days, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
The folks in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube chat now have turned their attention to Doc Rivers.
Oh, boy.
Well,
not Dan Hurley.
Doc Rivers, I think criticism of Doc Rivers is very fair. And it's not just Doc. I think it's the hiring of Doc. I think all of that is fair game. Completely fair game.
I mean, in fairness to Doc, and he hasn't done a great job, but Dame was out. They were trying to figure it out. They traded Middleton. They're trying to figure it out with Kuzma and everybody. Then Dame comes back. Then Dame leaves. They're still trying to figure things out that they shouldn't be trying to figure out at this point of the season. Like, it's not his fault everybody's hurt this way.
Well, we screwed up in not hiring a kid that's in Cleveland. That's who we wanted to bring in. It didn't work for whatever reason. And you end up paying 3 coaches, and then you throw a Hail Mary to the lead analyst on ESPN to come in and hope. Danny
That's
Hurley,
not a strategy.
line 1. Danny, what you doing?
He's not even picking up.
Whoa, Nelly on line 2. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah,
everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in Sport 30-2025.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Mark Tauscher here for Prize Picks, the best place to turn your sports knowledge into cash. With millions of members, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your last chance to add your favorite players from the court to your Prize Picks lineup. Whether it's points, rebounds, assists, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash today. Starting with the play-in round, every lineup you make on Prize Picks will enter you in the Takes 2 ticket sweepstakes, which could get you a +1, a VIP trip to the ship. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
This is our crew.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every strike, every hit.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Hear the call of every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Back at the track. Get up. Get up. Get out of here. Gone.
Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom.
we need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
We're on the Packers.
The excitement level is super high.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
The expectation game is going to be very high for this young man, too.
100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around. You can see me turning. Give me one reason to steer, and I'll turn right back around.
I see my friend Dr. Rye, who is a big fan of the show, is at the Pickler right now playing some pickleball. We'll have to get him set up with a matchup with Matt LaFleur at some point. In the interim, let's play Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
All right, I'm going to leave this up to you guys because we have time for one. Scott in Madison called in. He wants to talk Bucks with Tausch. Or we can talk about prank calls and your history with prank calls in honor of the Shedeur Sanders debacle over the weekend.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm going to make the command decision here, and I want more insightful Bucks analysis from our resident Bucks expert, Mark Tauscher.
I'm just going to tell you, I agree with your decision. I want more fan interaction, and it's Monday. Monday is when we take calls. But I was pranked in a great way one time. Keep it, write it down, and we'll get to it another time.
Tausch prank. I'm writing it down right now.
Scott and Madison, welcome to Wilde and Tausch. What do you want to talk about the Bucks with Tausch?
Let's talk Bucks!
All right, guys, this is not a prank call. I'm sorry, but the Bucks need to blow this up, okay? Unfortunately, Dame is owed $54 million for next season. He has a player option for $58 million for the following year. What I recommend that the Bucks do, number one, the NBA draft lottery is in 2 weeks, okay? The Brooklyn Nets currently have the highest odds of winning that because they have multiple lottery picks. Rumors are that Giannis likes Brooklyn, so let's just assume for the sake of this argument, Brooklyn wins that lottery, okay? The next day, the Bucks need to get on the phone with Brooklyn, make a trade, Giannis, for the number 1 pick plus the number 5 or 6 or whatever else that the Brooklyn Nets have. Then the Bucks can pick generational talent Cooper Flagg, and they could also bring home the Milwaukee boy, Cooper Flagg's teammate, Con Knuppel. What do you guys think?
The
Tausch?
Duke Blue Devils of the North.
Can we get John Shires, the coach, too?
No, Dan Hurley's still
coaching.
So
I believe, again, this is all predicated on if Giannis does not want to go, Giannis ain't going. I am never going to Giannis and saying we're trading you. Ever.
Agreed.
So I want to make sure that is crystal blank and clear.
Does he like Brooklyn or New Orleans? I'm hearing conflicting reports on places he'd like to go.
Depends who you ask. Brooklyn, I believe he would like to be in the New York, Brooklyn market, too. I think that is another place, but we'll see. I think that is a really good starting point, but that's not going to be enough for Giannis. It's not. And I know some people in Brooklyn would say, we're not giving up Cooper Flagg. Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. Because Giannis is a dog, and Giannis is only 30 years old, and Giannis is the best player in the world. Okay? And he can change your marketplace. So I like the idea. The question I have is, do you talk about that? Because once that pick happens and you know you're getting him, where's Brooklyn's head going to be at? But my point on this is you are going to, if Giannis is leaving and he wants to go, you do need to blow it up. it will need to be blown up. And if you do that, Dame has to be involved in it because you can't put $114 million or $104 million, my math ain't great right now, into a player that is not going to be able to play for you. And he's not going to want to play for you because they're not going to be able to win. So that needs to be a part of this Giannis package because it gives you the best chance to offload that money, and then Dame can be used as a piece later on for that team to trade as well.
All right, that has been your Bucks seemingly an hour and a half, but it was really only about 20 minutes.
Big with the Pelicans market today.
Do we agree that
No, we don't.
this
I
is
don't
where
think
we're
so.
You think that this team needs to
No.
Jesse?
No.
Jesse?
No.
I think it needs to, but I think you can still keep Giannis.
Well, then you're
to
not
rebuild
blowing it up if you have
You can't
Giannis
blow
on
it
the
up
team.
Yeah, I'm not ready to.
I'm not here to tell you how to do your job.
I'm not, so I don't
but
want to.
that's not what blowing it up is.
I don't want to blow it up like the Metrodome. I want to do it like a controlled burn. Like,
All right,
we're going to take a lot of it down, but we're going to keep a little.
I think we're done here.
Stick your head in the sand. Keep your head in the sand.
We're blowing it up, but we're keeping Giannis. This has gone well. Hopefully, your prize picks go better.
That's why we talk Packers as much. And again, I'm not going to belittle you two. You guys just don't know ball. Yeah, I know ball. I won my prize picks last night.
I won two last night.
McConnell more, Giannis
much.
less, Siakam last night. I had a hunch Pascal was going to slow down a little bit. He did. Prize Picks the best place to get real money sports action.
Ball.
And use your sports opinions. I had my sports opinions. They paid off last night. It was beautiful. Prize Picks is the best way to get action on sports in more than 30 states and simple to use. More or less on a few player stats for your shot to win up to 2,000 times your money. You got playoff basketball. You got UFL. You got golf. You got the French Open coming up. You got every NHL hockey. You got it all. Don't miss your chance to cash in right now. Download the app today and use code WI to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that's code WI on Prize Picks. Prize Picks, run your game.
Dan Hurley.
Mercifully, we will wrap things up.
If you boys were gonna reload and actually go with a bunch of young players, you don't think Dan Hurley, who just won 2 of the last 3 championships?
Why are you asking
You don't think
us?
he'd be a pretty
He
good
don't know
idea to
ball.
have
He
on?
wouldn't take the Lakers job.
You don't.
LeBron.
Yeah.
I am not. I am
You
not
think
an
Dan
ostrich.
Hurley wants to get talked to by LeBron, or you think
He's
Dan
not gonna
Hurley
be
wants
there
to
more
do
than a
his
year
thing?
or two.
I am. If I may.
Yep. Yes,
I
you
agree
may.
with Tausch. If you put together a young team because you blew it up because you got someone to take Damian Lillard
And then you
with
kept
Giannis.
By the way, you can't play till April.
We're going to wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers
Dude, he was honest. He had options.
because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
He had other players he liked. He had multiple trade offers, and yet he chose Matthew Golden.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
In for Pablo Iglesias, I'm Jesse Nelson. The 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay featured some significant Wisconsin Badgers influence. Several former Badgers announced draft picks for their current or former NFL teams. The UW Marching Band helped kick off festivities on Day 3 in Titletown. And of course, 2 Badgers were selected, both in the 7th round. Offensive lineman Jack Nelson drafted by the Falcons, and safety Hunter Wohler selected by the Colts.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo at the Bridges. On Saturday, May 3rd, play in a 2 or 4 person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes with a cart, prizes, and a Mexican feast. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
When it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, what becomes clear is that this team ain't going nowhere. The Philadelphia Eagles are a juggernaut, and they have a legitimate chance to go back-to-back. And a big reason why is because nobody looks at the Dallas Cowboys as a threat in the NFC East. Nobody looks at the Dallas Cowboys as a threat in the NFC as a whole.
Unsportsmanlike, weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on 2 wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. 0 in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
We're on the Badgers.
When you turn on the tape of Wisconsin Badger,
because we're on Wisconsin sports.
You know you're getting a boy dog warrior.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I don't normally say this, but after that whole conversation, I need a Coors Light and you need to chill.
Yes, you do. Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filter, and it is cold package, so it's made to chill. And make sure, especially after conversations like that those mountains are baby blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. That's why it's Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado.
All right, Tausch and I will not be here tomorrow. It will be Jim, Matt, and Molly in our time slot. I will join them for multiple segments, though. Hopefully we could talk more Bucks when I join them. That's it for us today. Don't be an ostrich, be a goldfish. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella